Hello everyone and welcome back to another Questions of Life. Today's question is brought to us by Uchiha, who asks, what is something that takes up a lot of your time? And today's question will be overlaid with some Code Vein gameplay. I picked this up yesterday, traded in a couple of games, got a pretty nice discount on it, and I started picking it up. I started playing it and I'm like, yes, thank you Bandai Namco. Thank you for making another JRPG. Ugh, my life. I needed this. This Bandai Namco and their JRPGs, they just make some great ones. They got the entire Tales series. They've done like Digimon Cyber Sleuth and Dark Souls, and yeah, they're fantastic. But anyways, I digress. Let me get into the question proper here. Something that takes up a lot of my time, unlike Awarbore and Uchiha, who I'm sure their jobs, they work like 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, out of the week. My job doesn't take up as much time. I work roughly 2 or 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. Pay's not the best, and the hours don't make enough for me to willy-nilly spend my money and all that nonsense. But I enjoy my job. I like it a lot, but it doesn't take up much of my free time. It doesn't take up much of my time in general. The things that really do take up my time, I guess, would be like playing video games, family, because my little brother, he likes playing games, so he'll bother me for an hour out of the day to play this game or what have you. We recently beat Resident Evil 6, all of the campaigns all the way through, and he did fairly well. We were playing on professional, and even though I was doing most of the puzzle stuff and other of the and it was co-op, so it was easier because he had me there to help him along, but he was doing fairly well. He managed to get an S rank on one of the missions. I'm like, alright, okay. This kid knows what he's doing. And then I recently made him play Dark Souls, and he's actually beaten the first boss in that game. The big fat demon. I forget what it's called. The Dungeon Master, not the Bell Gargoyle. I forget, but first boss of the game. And then he went into Dark Souls proper. And the thing about Dark Souls is that the bosses aren't all that bad. Like the run-ups, it's the run-ups that getting to the bosses that are the most difficult parts of the game. And he was shitting himself getting to the next boss, the Taurus demon. I'm like, yep, Dark Souls begins here. Anyways, I am digressing. Video games, in general, just take up a lot of my time. Code Vein came out, and I literally stayed up until 3 a.m. playing that yesterday. I woke up at like 12 today, and it's like 2 o'clock right now as I'm recording this, but yeah, games take up a lot of my time. Another thing that does take up a lot of my time, too, is preparing things for my next D&D session. I don't go off of like a pre-made module or anything like that. I kind of homebrew all of the stuff. I try to make the dungeons somewhat interesting and the combat encounters somewhat interesting, and homebrew a lot of the monsters so that they can do things within the place, or use certain monsters that I know would be in this area, but they would be too weak in the monster manual if they were there, and I would need to scale them up, or they might be too strong and I'd need to scale them down. So I do a lot of that stuff, preparing things for D&D. Recently I haven't had to prepare as much because I had a whole like bunch of encounters and shit planned out, but our last session we weren't able to get through all of it, so I could just recycle the stuff that I had left over and just add some more stuff to pad it out. So that's nice. I don't have to do as much preparing there. So anyways, this video's been going on for about 4 minutes, which is a nice desired length of time. This is my second take, and when I answered the question it took like 2 minutes. I'm like, that's too short. I recorded 12 minutes of goddamn gameplay footage. I need to put that to use. So anyways, thank you for watching, and remember, drive fast, take chances.